Anthony, how are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing really well. Wow. I can't imagine what this week was like for you. If I could, let's start on Thursday. I'm assuming again, like Felder, you were on the same bus as him. You're watching this all unfold. What are you thinking?
Yeah, man. We didn't really know what was going on. I mean, we saw a lot of commotion, and then you start hearing the glass breaking, and then you just see just commotion. Everybody running every which way. The UFC shut our door right away, so we kind of were just watching from the bus. But yeah, I mean, just crazy. I mean, we all saw the video, so that's exactly what we saw in person.
And so you go back to the hotel. When you start to find out that Chiesa was hurt and that your fight is now in jeopardy?
So we go back to the hotel, and I'm walking in, and I see Dana, and Dana's like, "Hey, is everybody okay?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, we're good. We just, we saw what happened." And then he says, "Yeah, Chiesa should sue him or something like that. Some along the lines of Chiesa should sue McGregor, like something happened to Chiesa." I'm like, "Wait, why Chiesa?" Because I didn't know Chiesa was hurt yet. And then I go back to my room. I'm like sitting, like, what the hell's going on? So I look on the internet because no one's telling me anything. Like we really learned this as you guys learn it, like from social media or from some interview. And then all of a sudden it pops up that Chiesa got cut, and I'm sitting there like, what's going to happen? I'm hitting up my management, like what's going on? And we get word from UFC that the fight's going to continue. So Thursday I go finish cutting weight. I'm on weight. I get down to 156.5, and then I'm chilling in my room. And that's when I get the call that Chiesa's not taking the fight anymore. So I'm like, what happens to me? Like, do I rehydrate? Am I fighting? What's going on? And they're like, yeah. My manager was like, yeah, go ahead, rehydrate. I think you're good because he can't make weight, or he's not going to make weight, so you don't need to make weight. So I start drinking, and all of a sudden I get a phone call. Hey, wait, we might need you to make weight, so don't rehydrate too much. So I stop rehydrating, and then I'm sitting there just like everybody else, waiting to see what's going on. And then, I talked to the UFC, upper level of the UFC, and they say the same thing. Yeah, you're a good kid. You don't need to make weight. So then I rehydrate even more, and I'm like 162-ish, and I get another phone call like, hey, we might need you to make weight again.
Oh my
It's like so I'm like, I'm Thursday night. It's a crazy night. I'm just like, what do I make weight? Do I not make weight? So I'm like, all right, let me just stop where I'm at. I'll just get down to 156 in the morning, weigh in, and then be done with the thing. Because initially, the Thursday, it sounded like I wasn't fighting for sure. And then Friday morning comes around, I'm still like 161, 162-ish, like from rehydrating. And then I start the weight cut, and I get down to like 156, where I was supposed to be at, the weigh in to fight Chiesa. And then the UFC's calls and like, hey, we might need you to make 155. And then now I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Like, I didn't even know why I had to make 155. So I jump back in the bath. I get down to 155.4. And, I'm just like confused and just kind of frustrated and annoyed, like didn't know what was going on. And we all saw what happened. I mean, they kind of offered me the fight. There was never really numbers talked. There was never a contract given, but they were like, you're in consideration for, fighting for the title. And obviously I wanted it, but my Duke was like, yo, you cut weight 3 times now. And, let's talk about this. Let's figure it out and make sure it makes sense. And, for us, I guess, it didn't go our way, but I was ready to go.
So when you came down to weigh in, at that point, the news was out that Max wasn't fighting and that they were considering you. When you came down to weigh in, were you coming down thinking, I'm weighing in here to fight Khabib, or just I'm weighing in here to try to get my show money? What was going through? Because I remember watching you, and you couldn't have looked cooler. I mean, like, you had the sunglasses on, the sweater around your shoulders. Like, it looked like you were just there without a care in the world. I was wondering what was going on in your mind. What were you thinking?
I didn't know. I didn't know what to think. Because like I was initially cutting weight just to weigh in for my show money, get to 156. I showed up. I was on weight as well. 156 was my target weight, and and then again I told you I rehydrated the night before, so we got down to 56. And then while I was like getting dressed to come downstairs, that's when the Khabib news came in. They're like, hey, we might need you to make 155. I'm like, well, let me go, because you got to check in before you can officially weigh in. So I went and checked my weight. I already made the 156 mark, so I'm like, let me just jump on that, and then while you guys are figuring it out, I'll just be chilling and wait until you guys tell me what to do. But then I just kept hearing the runaround. They said maybe you, maybe Paul, maybe Al. It wasn't official. So I mean, my team was just waiting there, like, hey, let's just rehydrate, and that's it. Like, let's see where it goes.
So to the best of your knowledge, were you ever actually offered a fight against Khabib Nurmagomedov?
I think I was, but I mean, obviously, I'm cutting weight at this point, so like it's coming through 3 different people: my coach,
Right.
my fiance, and my manager. So I think I was definitely in the running for that fight. I'm not sure if it was ever officially. There was never a contract shown to me, so that's what I say. When it's official is when a contract's in front of me. But yeah, there was never a contract. There was really never no negotiations in process that I know of, like besides me trying to get down to 155. But I think I was in the running. But it was just a crazy week, man. Like everything went crazy that week.
Did they even, to the best of your knowledge, like I don't know if you asked afterwards, did they even start talking money?
I mean, money was mentioned, but no one ever. I didn't even get an official like, yeah, let's sit down and talk about this. Like usually, I like to talk about it, like, figure it out deal. Now, money was never like officially talked about. We like been thrown around. They're like, can you make 155? The committee is back there like trying to like, hey, are you fighting? You're not fighting. I'm like, I don't know. Like I'm not sure what's going on.
So were you ever?
It was like all of my years of fighting. I've never had a week like that. It's crazy.
I can't imagine. Were you ever told why they ultimately didn't book you in the fight? Like why they moved on to Felder and eventually Al? Were you ever given a reason by the UFC?
I found out just like everybody else. Like Paul called Duke, and he's like, and Duke's with me. Like we're waiting to figure out what's going on with us. And he's like, hey, they want me to fight Paul, or they offered, or they're asking me about a fight with Khabib. So at that point, I'm just like, all right, man, I'm not going to put my body through this if they're offering other people to fight. Like it's kind of pointless for me to be sitting here and wait and trying to make another 0.2 pounds, even though 0.2 was nothing. I probably could have just sat in sauna for 5 minutes and made 0.2, but I don't know. It was just kind of all over the place.
Did they ever offer you Paul in the like once they went with Iaquinta and obviously I know your teammates?
I think they offered Paul me. Like they didn't really talk to me about it. I think they asked Paul, hey, would you fight Pettis? But we just did our whole training camp together. Like we literally spent every day together. So it was. I mean, that's definitely. It was unless it was worth it for both of us. Like it didn't really make sense.
I mean, I'm assuming you're not that interested in fighting him, right?
What's that?
You wouldn't have been interested in fighting him. That's your friend and teammate, right?
No, no. I mean, I just spent the whole 8 weeks with the guy. I mean, even 10 weeks. Like he lives in the gym, so yeah. I mean, it's not one of the things that I'm like, yeah, let's fight.
What did you do? Like, what was Friday night like for you to go from the Chiesa situation to being in the running, the cut, the no cut, the cut, the no cut, all that? How did you like come Friday night and now you're officially off the card? How did you process all of this?
I was just sitting there thinking about everything that just took place, man. I had opportunity to fight for a title right in front of me, and it just it was so close. But I mean, at the same time, it just makes me that much more hungry, man. Like I'm right there. I just got to get some wins. I got to get some impressive finishes. I think my mindset's right where I'm at. My body's healthy, and I mean, the best thing from this is I can go right back to the gym and start training, and we'll figure out who's next.
Did you go to 223?
I did.
While watching that main event, what are you thinking? Oh, I could have done this. I would have done that. I would have beaten him here. Are you watching the fight like that?
Yeah, I think definitely. I mean, no matter what, I'm at the top of the division right now. So I think there was some holes shown in his game. I mean, I'm not sure if he had a bad weight cut or if he's just not used to fighting, them 5 rounds like that. But I think in the later rounds, Al definitely showed that there are some holes in Khabib's game.
Dana White said after all this unfolded that the fighters who didn't fight got taken care of. Do you feel like you were taken care of financially?
You know what? I missed out on an opportunity to make a lot more money, but at the same time, they do it for the same fighters. They should pay your show money, and that's all they really can do. I mean, I didn't get a chance to fight, so I got compensated for what I did.
How soon do you want to return? Like, are you looking to get on a card right away, or do you now, because you added weight and the whole training camp, do you want to take some time off? What's your mindset?
No, I'm trying to get on right away. I mean, I'm gonna take the week right now to figure out what makes sense and where it makes sense. I mean, we got Milwaukee coming up, we got Chicago coming up, so a lot of interesting fights for me, and I'm just eager to get back and proving my point that getting these wins. And like I said, I just got to win. I want my confidence to get back to where it was when I was the champ, and that's the only way to do that is by training and winning.
Is that the most frustrating part about all this? Because you were in such good shape and mentally in the right place that you couldn't go out and actually show people how you've turned things around?
Most definitely, man. That was the biggest thing. That was my training camp was like I just had a perfect training camp. I put the work in, no injuries. My mindset was right, and we were right there, man. I mean, we're squaring off at media day, and then the next day, the fight scratch. So it was crazy.
Michael Chiesa said in a statement that he'd love to run it back with you. He'd love to get that opportunity, maybe in Chicago, as you mentioned. Do you want to fight Chiesa, or would you like to move on at this point?
No, I think I still Chiesa. I mean, if he's healthy and ready to go, I'm not sure how bad the cut was. I didn't see the guy afterwards or anything, so I'm not sure what if he's suspended or what procedures they take against something like that. But like I said, this week we'll have a lot more questions answered. I think the UFC is dealing with the chaos that occurred.
Yeah. Last thing for you, Anthony. I always think about this when someone goes to fight week and they do the cut and all that, and you know the moment they leave their home to go on the trip, and you say goodbye, and then you know you're going to come back a different person, and to return home to not get that fight. What is that like? What is that? I would imagine it's disappointment, but what is that feeling like to come back home after the flight, put your bags down, and never have that experience that you were thinking that you were going to have as you left a week ago?
Yeah, like I said, man, this is my first time having to deal with something like that. So, like, usually I've had the highest highs coming back with world titles and coming back with L's on my record and just leaving the emergency room. This time is a little different because it's kind of frustrating. Like, I just put all that work in. I missed Easter with my daughter. I missed a lot of time with my daughter. And kind of for nothing, you know, like my career didn't take a step forward, or I don't really have a real solid answer what this year brings. So it's kind of frustrating, but at the same time, you know, I'm healthy. That's the biggest thing, and I can get back to training, and we can figure out when the next fight will be.
Sorry about all this, Anthony. Real bummer of a situation, but I really appreciate you coming on and talking about it. Hopefully, you get booked sooner rather than later. Thanks a lot.
For sure, bro. Thanks.